Hola, amigos. It is I, host Eric, host of Talking to Fence People, and the man who's got something to say about our favorite pharmacy, CVS. So, my doctor called in my prescription on December 30th. It is now January 10th, and I still don't have my Adderall. The actual reason why I don't have my Adderall is because CVS actually doesn't have any. Can't seem to get it. There's a national shortage, national backorder, etc. However, as my dad used to like to say, that's not how the world works, son. The TI version of that is much better than the TE version of that. Because if CVS had from the outset simply told me the truth, yes, we have it, but other people have been waiting longer than you, so we need to give it to them first, then I wouldn't be able to go down there and yell at them. If CVS wanted to avoid conflict with me, all they ever had to do was tell me the truth. The whole truth, and nothing but the truth. At which point I would have had no choice but to grumpily wait. After all, you can't yell at people unless they do something wrong. You gotta have ammunition. Otherwise, you'll lose. Fortunately, the balding male Asian pharmacist guy at CVS, I mean, they lie to me like every month, right? But last month he really lied to me and messed up bad. He said that, these were his exact words, there is a 0% chance that you will get your drugs on Monday. I went down there on Monday, complained about it, got them on Monday. So, he was either lying directly to my face, or he's the least competent pharmacist in history. One of the two. Last night, I went down to CVS and I told them the following thing. First, I said to the lady, before we even begin, let me tell you what the correct answer is. The correct answer is, yes, we have your drugs. Your prescription will be ready in about 15 minutes. That is the correct answer. And then I told her my information, and the lady didn't even say a word. She just was like, and I said, okay, that's it. Hi, misfortune. Anyway, I said, okay, that's it. And I very loudly explained how that man, who happened to be on duty right then, fortunately, I got lucky with that. I didn't expect him to be on duty because I kind of keep track, and I thought he was off on Mondays. But is today Tuesday? Yeah. Anyway, So I very loudly and clearly said, okay, you will fill my prescription today or tomorrow, and I do not want to hear any excuses or anything, because you've lost all credibility, because that man lied directly to my face last month, and explained exactly how, and therefore only an idiot would believe anything you people have to say to me about this. After all, you've proved yourselves liars month after month after month. And this pharmacist, during my rant, which was much more ranty than what I just said right there, and much louder, pharmacist guy refused to even glance in my direction. Why do you suppose that is? Because he knew I had him dead to rights. He did lie to me. His first mistake was lying to me. His second mistake was picking the wrong guy to lie to. His third mistake is he's a terrible liar. It's so easy to catch him. The same guy who tried to tell me that his failure to fill my prescription was a problem between me and my doctor. Well, he last night reaped what he had sown and was loudly, publicly, vigorously shamed in front of all of his underlings, who now hopefully understand that that man's a big liar. And as I told them, this scene will repeat twice a day until you fill my prescription. Now, here's the truth. The real problem here is simply this. I'm not getting what I want. And I don't like not getting what I want. But I can only yell at you if you fuck up. Right? Can't yell at you if you don't fuck up. Fortunately, the CVS decided to fuck up badly. First, that guy lied to me in a way that was so easy to catch. But then, second of all, so this month, I guess in order to not, foolishly thinking that they were going to be able to not have to deal with me if they did this, I'm signed up for the text alerts. I'm supposed to get a text when they receive my prescription from my doctor. Usually, historically, I've then gotten a text saying, you can't quite pick it up yet because it's a day early or something, because I want to get that text, because then I go down there and tell them, now look, I'm not here to pick it up today because it's a day early. I'm here to tell you that I will pick it up tomorrow when it's actually on time, okay? So they elected not to send me that text this month. And they also haven't sent me any text saying it's on back order, even though they have every previous month. They haven't sent me any text alerts at all, even though I'm signed up for them. That's just automated. They had to selectively unsend me texts. They're so dumb that they thought that was a good idea. That's just giving me more ammunition to beat them over the heads with. Morons. As I told Rachel last night in bed, I'm not even sure if I want the Adderall anymore. I kind of want them to continue to not give it to me. So I can continue to go down there twice a day and yell at them. After I went down there and yelled at them like that, right? I went back to the hotel and I said, oh, you know what I should do right now? I should just go right back there and say, are my drugs ready? No? Did you not get the message? But I was settled in, so I said, fuck it, I stayed in the hotel room. I'll go back there this morning around 11 a.m. Begin the same way I did last night. Approach the window and say, before we begin, let me tell you what the correct answer is. Yes, we have your drugs, and they'll be ready in about 15 minutes. Hello. Oh, Mr. Man. Kinda. I will. I don't know why exactly. It seems like an awful thing. But I really enjoy doing that shit. When someone's fucked up and tried to fuck with Eric, I really enjoy yelling at them. I don't know if I'm a bad person or what, but it's so much fun. Because what are they even thinking? Like, just tell me the truth all the time. And the crazy thing is, this month, they are telling me the truth. But, as I explained to them, doesn't even matter how true it is what you're saying. You have no credibility because the actual pharmacist guy, the rest of you are helpers, right? The actual pharmacist guy lied directly to my face last month, costing this pharmacy all of its credibility. So I have to assume everything you say is a lie, except here's your prescription, sir. I think this morning when I go down there, after we check out of the hotel and come back to the house and everything, I'll talk a little bit about that in a second, but I think I'll go down there with my metaphor. Can you imagine if I went to a restaurant and ordered breakfast and they said, I'm sorry, sir, we keep ordering eggs, but we don't seem to have any. And then made me sit at the table for 2 weeks before I got my breakfast. Do you imagine that under said circumstances, such a business would then require me to pay for the meal? I don't think so. And yet, thanks to my infinite mercy and grace, I am still going to pay for my drugs, even though they're almost 2 weeks late. And you are going to pay for making me wait with this tongue lashing. I mean, it was all directed at the guy. He wouldn't even glance in my direction. But I was explaining to everybody there that it was his fault that that pharmacy had no credibility, that he had lied, etc. I feel good for everybody else there because now they don't have to respect that motherfucker anymore. If they ever did. Now, he's not going to have a whole lot of authority around there. At least until, especially until my prescription's filled. Right? He's going to be the guy who caused this problem. Good morning. How are you, Lou? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're not smelling bad like hell. I hope you're doing good. I hope you got some wood. I hope you know you should have some good wood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, baby girl. Sup, Abraham? How's Norway treating you? You know what Norway should start producing? They should start producing Norwegian boards, which are Norwegian Ouija boards. I'd want to buy one of those. Is it hard to get a job in Norway or what? I mean, you have the kind of skill set and experience that people always need, that kind of stuff, like laborer stuff and construction worker stuff. You could also try to open a debate school in Norway. Or a speech school. You'd probably be a better speech coach than a debate coach, but you know what I'm saying, right? I don't know if there's a market for that. But, well, Lou, job hunting does suck. It takes so much time, and it's just this succession of horrible compromises, you know. Do I want to apply for this job? It's got these things I don't like. Then, like, maybe you get an offer for the job that you decided to apply for that you least want, you know, and then you're like, I'll tell you why we're getting rid of this House Union SC. And because it's worth way more than it should be. That's basically why. We listed this thing at $1.15 million. And the looking at and chance to make an offer period lasted from last Wednesday until Monday, 5 days, okay? And my realtor called me yesterday and said he needs an extra day before our meeting because we have so many offers that he needs to put together a spreadsheet. No, we are getting a house that we bought on a contingency deal. In Mariposa County, it's really hard to sell a house. So we got a beautiful 2-story home, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, built in 2000, with a full house vacuum cleaner, with central heating and air that you can adjust independently in each room. You set different temperatures in each room. The National Forest is right across the street. Yosemite National Forest. And we got it for $495,000. That's why. And they accepted it as a contingency buy too. They have to wait until we sell this house before we buy it. But that's the deal. We just have a deadline date of January 24th, which we're not going to have any problem meeting because we've got a huge stack of offers, and it's only January 9th. We just have to open escrow technically before February 15th. If we open escrow before January 24th, it saves us $2,500. are going to open escrow before then, but not for that reason. It's simply because so many people want to buy this house, apparently. And our new house is fantastic. It's fantastic. It's got a circular driveway plus a garage, two car. I guess it's a 2-car garage, but you could only fit 1 car in there because they got like workbench stuff and shelf space occupying parts of it. It's on 0.99 of an acre of land, just under an acre. And oh yeah, I'll put the address right here and you can look at it. It's still listed on Zillow because they're accepting. Sorry about that. Thank you for telling me. So yeah, it's like I'm tired of living in the city. I'm tired of living in LA. I'm tired of living in Arcadia, especially. The traffic around LA is always awful, unless you're driving like in the middle of the night. Where it's the worst of all. It's become unpredictable. It used to be that I could know how to avoid traffic by leaving certain times, going certain directions, certain mias or whatever, right? But it's also got plantation shutters, which apparently are nice. I've not ever had them before, but why do people want to live in Arcadia? Well, it's called the Chinese Beverly Hills. Is one of its monikers, and we priced this house to sell. We priced it under market value at 1.15 because even though it's, thanks Susie, thanks Rachel. Basically, I'm smart, so I let Rachel make important decisions. She's really good at being right. I'm really good at being correct, but she's really good at being right. And even though her ways are crazy, like her way of choosing Mariposa involved this horrible app on her phone that frustrated the hell out of me with being so horrible. It's this horrible astrology app. But, once she said Mariposa, and I started factoring in all the various factors that I wanted, things I wanted about things I didn't want, whatever, I realized it was literally the only place to go. It's the right distance from LA. It's the right amount in the mountains and isolated. It's the right amount close enough to a decent sized place to buy stuff, not super isolated, It's in the only county in the state that has no municipal government. It's all county. It's a place where it's the closest habitation to Yosemite National Park's main entrance. So if you wanted to go to Yosemite but not camp, you'd stay in the town of Mariposa and then drive 43 miles to Yosemite. Okay, so it's perfect because it's just me and Rachel living there, but it's got four bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. So if anybody wants to come visit us, we want visitors. We want channel people to say, hey, me and my boyfriend want to go to Yosemite. We can stay at Eric and Rachel's house for free for a couple nights. And then you guys come over and and stay a couple nights, you know. Bear mace. I'll just do what Cameron does. Shoot it with my air pistol. It won't hurt it, but it'll make it go away. But I probably should get some bear spray too. There will be bears around there. That's true. And I don't want bears to eat me. So yeah, we're trading in this dumb house for that gorgeous house and getting like $600,000 change. Oh no. The bear will not steal my Adderall. If the bear tries to do that, with my bare hands and teeth, I will rip its throat open, mount its head on the wall. That's not acceptable. Not even a bear can steal my Adderall. No, because we're above the snow line, Susie. That's the other thing. Most of Mariposa County is below the snow line. So when it rains, it rains. We're above the snow line. So when it rains, it snows. Well, if the bear decides to engage in discourse, then he's not stealing my Adderall. He's talking to me. I'm always willing to have a conversation with somebody. Hey, bear, what's going on? Is it true that you shit in the woods? Because that's what I hear. Chickens can't live in the snow, can they? I mean, I don't want chickens inside of our house. And it's going to be too cold for them outside during the winter, you know. Yeah, well, I know. I know. Objectively, I don't like angry CVS Eric either. And I don't understand why I enjoy being that guy so much. Because I'm not a mean or bad person, really, or I don't like to make people suffer at all. I didn't even look inside the shed when we went to go see it. I was already sold by the house. I didn't even care what the shed looked like. I mean, well, I was sold by it, but also I could see in Rachel's eyes that she wanted that house for sure. Oh God, misfortune. I did successfully build a chicken house before. That is true. And that was such a hard month or so. And I had a lot of speed. Yeah, well, you know, hopefully you and Susie can come on vacation. And since you're coming all the way from Norway, you're welcome to stay with us for like a full week, you know. You have no hotel accommodations. You'll have a great private. You probably could have the whole upstairs. You know, Rachel and I are going to be in the master bedroom. I'm sorry, the primary bedroom. If I can't call it the master bedroom anymore, what am I going to call my slave quarters? Anyway, Rachel and I have the master bedroom on the bottom floor. We probably won't even hardly ever go upstairs, you know. there's not going to really be a whole lot of reason to go upstairs. There's the master bedroom on the bottom floor. There's the hangout space, which we bought it fully furnished because they got it super pimped out. Like some ESTJ made this house, okay? A smarter one than my dad. Maybe an ENTJ even, I don't know. Well, there's one more thing that has to happen between moving and getting married. And that is, now that both my parents are dead, after the memorial service on the 20th for my mom, we've got to fly 2 urns to Missouri and have a funeral because that's where my family's plots are. My dad left detailed instructions, of course, for all of this shit, you know. We got to go have a funeral in Missouri where we bury both of the urns into their respective plots. After that, then I want to fast track the wedding as our top priority. It's not going to be a big wedding, and probably the reception will be like at our house, and we'll just get a bunch of pizzas from the pizza place or something, and we'll have alcohol, people who drink, and I'll have mushrooms for everybody who wants to do mushrooms. Yeah, totally eventful times, totally. Um, yeah, hey, you know what I found out and what I successfully accomplished yesterday is I think Rachel and I may just get married at the courthouse or something and then just meet everybody at the house. Because who wants to go to the ceremony part? Ceremonies are boring, you know? My parents got married at the courthouse because my dad was such an strident atheist. He thought churches were abominations against reason. Oh, Dad. Thanks a lot for setting this up so nicely. I appreciate it. Okay, I agree with you, Lou, but then I have a question for you. Since ceremonies are quick if you want them to be, and they don't have to be endlessly boring, why is it that every wedding ceremony I've ever been to is long and incredibly boring? Hmm? Can you answer me that one? I don't think so. I guess just everybody's making the wrong choice. There's your problem. Everybody's making the wrong choice. I remember my first wedding was a Catholic wedding, and I was the groom, and I was so bored during it. I found a place in Arcadia, a dispensary that sells mushrooms. Naturally, I went there yesterday. Unfortunately, they were out of raw mushrooms. So I bought 4 of these, basically they're like cough syrup things, cough syrup bottles, that each of them has 4 grams of mushrooms. So I bought 4 of those. Rachel drank 1 of them, I had the other 3. I bet your shrooms are cheaper, but unfortunately for me, I'm too old to have good drug connects, you know? Well, I do have one young guy around here that's a friend of mine that I can call, and In fact, I recently said to him, I recently asked him if he could get Molly. It's been decades since I've taken it, but I'd like to take it with Rachel. I think that'd be fun. He can get it, but he's also like super flaky. Like, just, oh right, I forgot about that. You know. I know a fancy way of doing these things that doesn't rely on the connector. Can you guess what it is? The dark web. Yeah, if you do the dark web properly, you can have whatever you want delivered to your house successfully and safely. But it's kind of hard. You gotta encrypt everything correctly, intelligently, and well, you're better at that stuff than me, Sown. Basically, I don't want to try to figure it all out. It sounds like a big TE frustration to me. Cool. You should. Well, that's why you're more successful in life than me, Sown. Yeah, it's like to be correct, which is my priority in life for some reason. You have to be retarded at everything else. Being correct is so much over prioritized by me that I will tell you a story about what happened last night. I was standing outside the hotel smoking a cigarette, and there was this lady who was also standing outside the hotel smoking a cigarette. We were both near the tall thing that you put the cigarette in. You know how, I don't know if you know those new tall cigarette things. Smart. They're really tall so that when it falls in there, it starves it of oxygen because there's a little hole. Anyway, it's a smart way to do things. We were milling around that cigarette ashtray thing, and she finished her cigarette and put it in the tall thing, and then she walked back into the hotel, and she walked like right next to me like this, or like just super close to me as she walked back to the hotel. And after she had gone to the hotel, I said to myself out loud, well, that was strange. She walked so close to me for no reason. And then, Trouble, please don't do that. Trouble, stop. Trouble, no. Trouble, stop. Stop it. Alright, go ahead, do it. I have a feeling we're going to get charged by the fake furniture people for cat scratches on their furniture, even though we've... It's been a terrible week for the cats. The week that we can't let them in the house at all. It's also been like the rainiest week of the year. Rachel and I have been really emotionally struggling with that, you know. Like, I really feel bad for the cats. Last night, because it was raining so hard, we came back here. I propped open the back door to the house so they could get into the bedroom if they wanted, as well as propping open the back door of the garage so they could get into the garage. The problem with the garage is like last night, I think it was a skunk, but because there was a faint smell of skunk in there, climbed up onto the workbench and knocked the whole bag of cat food down onto the ground. So I'm glad that we're moving back into the house today, and like the first thing we're gonna do when we get fully back in here, this is gonna be a fairly short stream because We got to check out of that hotel. I think checkout time's 11. But anyway, first thing we're going to do when we get back is call the staging people and say, please prioritize getting rid of all this stuff ASAP. Because I want to live in an empty house where I can with just a bed, where I can safely trust my cats to not ruin other people's shit, you know? I got sidetracked from some sort of thing I was saying about something. I'll stay safe, Abraham, don't you worry. I'll be as safe as a safe deposit box at a bank. That's how safe I'll be. You know what I like to say? Safety first. And to answer your question, Winston's mom, we will probably not actually discuss all the offers until tomorrow, because Dean called yesterday and said, we have so many offers that I need another day to put together a spreadsheet so I can just show you one or two pieces of paper rather than like a big stack of things that's not explained to you, you know? I don't really remember the conversation all that well because, of course, I was on 12 grams of mushrooms, and Rachel and I were going to the CVS to buy peach rings. As I explained to him, it's like real estate noise, real estate noise, real estate noise. I'm like, oh, you're saying you need another day. You take all the time you want, Dean. I'm barely listening to you. I'm on a lot of mushrooms, and I'm trying to go to CVS to buy peach rings. Rachel has to keep reminding me where we're going and what we're doing. So, you just take your time. Yeah, we've got a lot of offers, apparently. I mean, we did it right. We did it right from the beginning. We priced it at the bottom of the market, and peach rings. Peach rings. It's a kind of candy. Rachel and I both like them. But Rachel's the one who said yesterday, I want peach rings. So, and I was the dumbass who said, let's go to CVS to get peach rings. Because that's where we had gotten them the previous time. So I was just like, well, let's go get more peach rings at the same place. And we get into CVS, and of course, there's a huge line, which I grumpily stand in with my peach rings, while explaining to Rachel in clearly audible but not excessively loud voice that the problem here is not that CVS doesn't have peach rings. They do have peach rings. As you can see, we're holding them in our hands. Additionally, they also have watermelon rings, or watermelon mias, which you've decided to additionally get, Rachel. So that's not the problem here. The problem here is that while one can get peach rings at CVS, one should not, because CVS is terrible at being a store. I was explaining this to Rachel while we were waiting in this line that was annoying me. You can tell that CVS is terrible at being a store because even when you use the self-checkout things, it requires a checker to come over every time, just about. So you've got checkers who can't do their normal checker job because they've got to go walk over continually to help people with the self-checkout things. Well, in that particular visit to the CVS, after we got the peach rings and we went out, I said, Rachel, why don't you go to the car? I think I'm going to go yell at the pharmacy. And then I went to go walk into yell at the pharmacy, and the line was super long. And then I got a call from Veritas, which is the hospice company, okay? One thing I like about Veritas is they actually listen to me and hear what I'm saying and go with it without judging me or whatever. So, do I need help with bereavement? No, I don't want your bereavement literature. I don't need your help grieving, thank you very much. And she said, I will make a note of that. She was a delightful woman. We had a wonderful conversation. I gave her my new address. I said, don't mail anything for the next month or so because, and she asked what they'd done wrong, if anything, and I said, you guys only made one mistake at the very beginning. You told me my mom qualified for some free bed and she should get it. And I said, okay, fine. If it's a special bed for people like my mom's condition, then fine, go ahead and get it. And then it got delivered to the nursing home. The nursing home called me and said, your mom already has the best bed money can buy. Your dad already bought it for her. This bed that they have gotten you is worse than the bed she currently has. So I said, well, then send that bed away. I don't want it, obviously, if it's a worse bed. So your mistake, the one mistake you made, Vietas, is you should have checked to see what kind of bed she had first before recommending a different one. Oh, right, that's what I was on. So after she had gone to the hotel, I said, well, that was strange. She walked so close to me for no reason. Without a reason, were my expert. She walked so close to me without a reason. And then I realized it's raining. I'm in the dry part underneath the And so I'm standing outside out loud, even though I never spoke a word to this woman, okay? I said, I'm sorry, lady, for accusing you of walking so close to me without a reason. You did have a reason. And then I felt mad at myself. That's how No, we were both in the dry part, right? On different sides of the tall thing that you put the cigarette in. We were both milling around in the dry part. But she was I was between her and the hotel entrance door. So after she was done with her cigarette, she didn't want to go out into the wet part. So that's why she walked so close to me. You see? She wasn't standing in the rain the whole time. In fact, she never did stand in the rain. That's why she walked so close to me. But I'm so oblivious that I'm not even thinking about the fact that it's pouring rain, and that might be why she walked so close to me. Because I was busy thinking about important things, like why CVS is a bad place to buy peach rings. I haven't seen Capillo. I didn't see Capillo at all yesterday or this morning. I might have seen her yesterday morning, but I guess she's hunkered down someplace. It's the difference between an ENFJ cat and an ISTJ cat. Capita's an ISTJ. She solves her own problems. Trell's an ENFJ. As soon as Rachel and I return to the house and get out of the car, we are met with a barrage of angry meows. Meow! 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 And of course we say, I know, I'm so sorry, Trouble. I know, I'm very sorry. I feel terrible. But last time we let you in the house, you took a massive dump on one of the stage beds. We had to clean it up. We had to wash that blanket like 4 times. When I cleaned it up and put it in the toilet, it was such a massive dump that it clogged the toilet. I had to plunge the toilet. So I'm sorry, Trouble, but while this week is going on, Rachel and I are going to have to stay in a hotel because we too cannot stay in this house without taking dumps on things. And you're just going to have to be okay with access to the garage when it rains. Of course, the cats don't want to go in the garage when it rains because what do you see in the morning when you come here? Raccoon paw prints in the garage. Raccoons are tougher than cats. They're a lot tougher than cats. So the cats are the only opposition the cats could potentially defeat would be a possum. They couldn't. The staging company did do a great job. Not my taste, but I'm not the one buying the house, right? They could defeat a possum, but they could not defeat a skunk or a raccoon. They could, in theory, try to defeat a skunk, but they'd get skunk sprayed and then they would learn their lesson from that, I guess. If they tried to fight a raccoon, the raccoon would kill them. I know Trouble has before fought and killed a full adult-sized possum. How many raccoons could I defeat? I don't think I could defeat raccoons. Because well, probably because they're smarter than me. Heading to CVS, going to get my prescription medication, my junk food, my cigarettes and vodka as well. They actually don't sell cigarettes at CVS. They do sell handles of cheap vodka, but because they care about people's health, they don't sell cigarettes anymore. What was the best movie you saw this week or over the holidays? It's a general question to everybody from Winston's mom, even though she directed it to Hero Lamb. I'm going to think about it myself right now. It seems like we did watch something that we enjoyed a lot recently. Oh, Rachel and I actually have been watching The Office, which surprisingly is a show I'd never watched before. I mean, I'd like walked through the room when other people are watching it. I'd seen little clips of it or something, but I'd never watched the show. And we bought the first season on YouTube for $10. But after we're done watching those episodes, I think I'm gonna have to subscribe to Peacock for a month so we can watch it, or 2 months, so we can watch all the episodes of The Office. Even though I do not want to subscribe to Peacock, right? But I'll just cancel the subscription to Peacock as soon as we're done watching The Office, because the only other way to get the other 8 seasons of The Office is to pay $30 a season for them. And I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to have to subscribe to Peacock. Even though it's assuredly the lamest Uh, let's meet at the house, please. Period. I will call Delilah around 10:30 when she gets up, approximately, and ask her if she'll be joining us in person or remotely. Also, I will go get the deed from the safe deposit box. Well, Dean's ahead of schedule. I guess he likes to under-promise and over-deliver. Apparently, we're meeting to discuss this today at noon. Here at the house. Now, in 15 minutes, I've got to go. I got to end this stream, and I got to go back to the hotel, get Rachel up, get her all packed up, get the suitcases in the car, check out of the hotel, pay the incidentals, which include things like room service and well, that's it actually. That's the only thing it includes. Is room service. Well, actually, no. It includes purchases of food, most of which were room service, but a couple of which were at the restaurant. It's one of those hotels where you don't have to pay for things right there if you don't. In fact, they default to you just putting down your room number, your name, signing it, put the tip, the total, etc. And then you pay all of those at the end, you know. We've been there like a week now. Now that was the hotel room, I think. Or the lobby. It was either the hotel room or the lobby. If it was in the lobby, when I live stream from the lobby of the hotel, I was always worried that I was going to get in trouble because they have this background music playing, you know. I've become fairly familiar with their playlist at that hotel, which is fairly expansive, but I've heard the song, can't in it, the girl can't in it, the girl can't in it. I've heard that a number of times. It's by, I think, Fergie, and it starts with this great concert mate beat. You know that song? I'd never heard it until like a couple of weeks ago, and then I heard it once. I heard it in Smart and Final. I was walking down the aisle, it came on, and I heard that classic, unmistakable concert mate beat. That Radio Shack made this thing called the Concert Mate, which is about like this big, and it's got like 5 program beats on it, like bossa nova, swing, rock, you know, like that. And this song uses one that goes bop bop bip bop bop bip bop bop bip. Anyway, I've heard that song a lot recently. I like that song a lot. The first time I heard it in Smart and Final, I found myself dancing down the aisles of Smart and Final. Just like, yeah, this song's great. And then it turned out it was on the playlist at the hotel we were staying at. So for now, I've heard it a lot of times. I heard it for the first time like a week and a half ago, and now I've heard it like 20 times. So that's kind of weird. Let me turn this camera around, and I'm going to go over there and smoke a cigarette. And the thing is, California so needs rain, and so needs these wet winters. This wet winter will help with the property value of our new home. So I think we're getting an absolute steal on our new home, and that it will double in value in the next 10 years. I'm absolutely convinced of it. The only thing that would prevent that from happening, in my mind, is if this strangling drought we've been going through were to continue for most of the next 10 years. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have a wet decade. And I bet 10 years from now, when I'm 61 and Rachel's 47, we'll be able to sell that house for over $1 million. It already appraises at like almost $100,000 more than we're paying for it. Where did I leave my cigarettes? Huh. Hold the phones, everybody. Everybody hold the phones. It's so flooded in the backyard. Here, let me show you guys how flooded it is on the backyard. Meow. Daddy knows. Daddy knows the truth about things. Yes, he does. Daddy knows what a wonderful kitty you are. See? It's super flooded back here right now. I better go back inside before I ruin my laptop with wetness. Don't ruin your laptop with wetness. Don't ruin it hard. Don't ruin your laptop with wetness just to show people this far, which is a flooded yard, of course. Flooded by these rains. It's a very good sign, yes it is. It means it's wet again. Meow. 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 Morale. Yeah, well, it is true that smoking while standing in the rain is a bit of an iffy proposition. There's a little bit of an awning over there, so I wasn't actually standing in the rain. I mean, I still got a couple drips of water on me, don't get me wrong. But I wasn't getting rained on, per se. I did. I survived the rain. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to wrap this up. We got a meeting at noon with Dean. And it's 9 a.m. We gotta check out of that hotel. I'm assuming it's 11, and I hope it's not a 10 a.m. checkout time. I don't think it is. Usually 11 is the earliest they do check out nowadays. But it's like this is some of the ways in which Eric is retarded in life. It's gonna be right here in this house. We're gonna have the meeting here in the Arcadia house. Not the ideal place, and it's just full of fake furniture, but whatever. What was I gonna say? What was I talking about? Oh, right. I gotta go get us packed up from the hotel, leave the hotel, go to the bank, get the deed from the safe deposit box, call Delilah as late as possible. She doesn't like it when I call her before like 11 in the morning because she's always asleep, Find out whether she's going to come over here or just join us remotely on the phone. And then after that, we gotta call the staging people to come pick up their furniture, because just in the time period when I went back to the hotel briefly to get this camera, which I had left at the hotel like an idiot, Trouble managed to get muddy paw prints on this chair that I'm sitting in. I decided to leave this door cracked open. I'm just going to be gone 15 minutes. You can just stay in here. It'll be fine. I need these people to get their furniture out of here before I destroy it, Anyway, so hopefully they can come pick it up tomorrow or something. I doubt they're going to come get it today, but it's a bad day to be doing things like this because it is raining quite a bit. And then in the afternoon at some point, I guess I'll have to go yell at CVS again. They may get to skip their morning shaming, but I'll make sure to double down in the afternoon. And what else did I do today? I guess that's about it. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to get like set up in the house, like the TV and the cable box and shit like that. Well, Dean said the word counteroffer at some point yesterday. Like, he's gonna try to take the best offer and make them give us even more money. So, I mean, I don't know how all that's gonna play out. I would just ask Dean what we should do and just follow his instructions. He's a realtor. He knows what he's doing. He also understands me in the sense that he knows I don't want any shady shit going on at all. I want full disclosure of every problem associated with this house. I do not want to do anything remotely sneaky or shady. And in fact, I'm going to have to inform him today that this avocado tree back here had this fungus growing on it that was bad for it. And I researched it like maybe 2 years ago and figured out what it was, determined that there was no herbicide that was effective against it, and that it was potentially fatal to the tree. So I dug up the fungus and I filled in that area with cement, and I thought I had solved the problem. But then during the house tour with Cameron, I did this to the cement and it fell off, and then the rest of the cement fell off, and yeah, I can see there's still that stuff underneath it. So I'm gonna have to tell him that and inform him that make sure you disclose this because I fucked up. You know, it might cost us a little bit of money, but I doubt it's going to cost very much. And the thing is, I know what I did wrong. If I had another chance, I could kill that fungus and fix that tree. What I did wrong last time is I was concerned about the cement damaging the tree, like getting into its capillaries or something. So I put a layer of homemade cement in between the tree and the actual cement. The homemade cement being a mixture I made out of ash and fat and like clay, you know. Anyway, if I had to do it over again, I would just torch the living fuck out of the fungusy area and then immediately just slap cement, like pool cement on it, you know. Regardless, if I hadn't knocked off the cement from the tree, I could successfully have continued assuming that I had fixed the problem, and then I would have nothing to disclose, you know. I wouldn't be lying. Kant got the moral imperative part, but he didn't get the TE part of it. The reason you should never lie is because you concede the moral high ground, and then you can't win any argument, right? Why do you want to be full disclosure? Because I need to retain the moral high ground. I can't be deceptive or try to be a shyster or something. I might have to have an argument at some point, and I must have the moral high ground if I'm going to win that argument. No, don't. Don't jump up there. You don't need to jump up there. But I want to jump up there, says Trouble. And so that's the thing, right? It's like, it doesn't really ever matter in life what the truth is. What matters is your relationship with it. If you aren't vigorous in being honest, then you open yourself up to Eric crushing you. Well, Mrs. Mom, I'll tell you how I came to own this house worth over $1 million. My job was, and I did a great job of it, to wait for my parents to die. And I loved them both very much, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, I have no idea. We try to stay out of Dean's way, you know, and not be around the house. If potential buyers met Rachel, no problem. If they see me, oh, mushrooms, that could cost us tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah. So we try to stay away as much as possible. Speaking of checkouts, right? Thanks, Mrs. Paul. And thank you so much the other day for reminding me, or I would have been live streaming here when Dean showed up with Chinese people. He saved my ass the other day. I was totally gonna just I was not paying any attention to what time it was. And Dean had a showing at 9 a.m. And you're like, Eric, you better, you really saved my ass, Mrs. Mom. Thank you for that. So anyway, goodbye everybody. Love you all. And where's the cursor? And don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. And also to celebrate the moments of your life. If you're not celebrating the moments of your life, well, you should.